Welcome again to the old principal. 我真是老校长. I am the old principal, and we're going to have another English lesson. Well, today's lesson is refining silver. 精炼银子. 精炼 or 提炼银子. Whoo! So, that sounds like a heavy one, but it's not so difficult. So stay by as we listen to the story. I'll be right back.
Story 182, Refining Silver. A woman phoned a silversmith and made an appointment to see him. She told him that she wanted to watch him at work. She didn't mention anything about the reason why she wanted to watch him, other than that she was curious about how he refined silver. When she arrived, he brought her back to the bench where he worked and pulled up a chair for her. She watched him get ready for his work. He took a pair of tongs, grasped hold of a hunk of dark metal, and held it over the fire to let it heat up. He explained, "When I'm refining silver, I need to hold the silver ingot in the middle of the fire where the flames are the hottest. This is the only way that I can burn away all the impurities." She asked the man, "Do you have to sit in front of the fire the whole time it's burning? What if you have to take a break or something?" "Oh, I can't take a break while I'm refining silver," he replied. "I have to sit here holding the silver for the whole process. When I'm refining silver, I have to keep my eyes on the silver the entire time it's in the fire." He paused to take a closer look at the metal between the tongs and then continued, "If the silver is left in the fire a moment too long, it will become unusable." The woman sat there watching the man do his work. She was silent for a long time. Then she asked the silversmith, "How do you know when the silver is fully refined?" He turned his head briefly and smiled at her. "Oh, that's easy," he answered. "When I see my image in it, then I know there are no more impurities in it. And then I know it is fully refined."
Welcome back. And now we begin with our story. A woman phoned, maybe I can do without this one here. A woman phoned a silversmith. Okay, so what is a silversmith? Silver, of course, you know what a silver is. A smith is somebody who works with something. So a person who makes things out of silver is called a silversmith. Now, if it's 一般的金属, we say blacksmith. So he takes the metal, 这个金属, and then he makes things out of it. But in this case, we're talking about a silversmith. And made an appointment, 约了时间, okay, to see him. She told him that she wanted to watch him at work. So what did she want? She wanted to make an appointment. She wanted to watch the silversmith doing his work. Well, that sounds very good. I've done that with different tradesmen, watching them do their work. Going on, she didn't mention anything about the reason why she wanted to watch him, other than that she was curious about how he refined silver. She didn't mention, 没有提到 anything about the reason. So we don't know the reason. She didn't tell him the reason why she wanted to watch him, other than 除了 what? That she was just curious about how he refined silver. Of course, many children are curious, 他们的好奇很多. But in this case, we are not talking about children. This is an adult. And she was curious, 很好奇，她是怎么样提炼、精炼银子. So, she is going to come. She has made an appointment. 已经约了时间 going on. When she arrived, she brought her back. He brought her back to the bench where he worked and pulled up a chair for her. When she arrived, so apparently, when you see the word brought her back, that means that it's probably back behind the house or at the back part of the house to the bench where he worked. Okay, what is a bench? Well, a bench has many meanings. 凳子，长凳子, a bench. You sit on a bench. But if you work on a bench, it's a 工作台. And in this case, this is 工作台. So he's taking her back to his working bench where he works, and he's going to let her observe, 就观察 what he is doing. So he not only took her back to the bench where he worked, he pulled up a chair for her. So now she can sit on the chair. Going on. She wanted him to get ready. She watched him, sorry about that. She watched him get ready for his work. So apparently there was a certain amount of things that he had to do to prepare to do his work. He took a pair of tongs, 钳子. Okay, usually tongs, we think of 钳子 is like a pair of pliers, but these are longer, okay, because it's hot. 很热, 很热. So he takes these 钳子 and he grasps hold of a hunk, 一块. Okay, a hunk is 一块 of dark metal. So, is the silver look silver at this point? 有没有看起来好像是银子? No, this is only a hunk of dark metal, 黑色的金属. So he's got something to do, okay? He grasped the hunk of dark metal and he held it over the fire to let it heat up. Okay? He held it over the fire. He held it, that means 他拿着, okay, over the fire. So the fire, 这个火, okay, is right here, and he holds it over the fire. He's holding it over the fire. Okay, what is he hoping will happen? He wants it to heat up. 要开始热起来. And this is part of the process. Going on. he explained. Now this is very nice because he is explaining. 他就解释. When I am refining silver, 当我提炼银子. By the way, when the word refining, 提炼 or 精炼, have you ever heard of an oil refinery? Okay, 这个精炼这个石油. Many countries have oil refineries. So, 精炼 or 提炼 means the process of taking something that's in its original state, 它原来的情况, okay, and then changing it and making it better or more useful. So, in this case, when I am refining silver, he's taking silver and he's doing something special to it. Okay? I need to hold the silver ingot. Ingot 也是一块. Okay, 这个一块金属. Okay? In the middle of the fire where the flames, 这个火焰, are the hottest. So, what is he doing? He is taking the ingot. In this case, the ingot is simply what? The ingot is, earlier in the story, a hunk of metal. But it's just a piece of metal. And then he holds it over the hottest part, where the flames, 这个火焰, 最热的时候. But he's holding it. He isn't putting it in there and letting it melt. He's holding it. And then in a little bit, it'll explain what. He holds the silver ingot in the middle of the fire. 这个火焰最热的一个地方. Going on. This is the only way that I can burn away all the impurities. Okay. This is the only way. Okay. 唯一的方法 burn away. Okay. In this case, 烧灭. Okay. 烧灭 all of the impurities. Okay, have you heard the word pure? Okay, pure is 纯正 or 纯. Okay, pure. So if you add an impurities, okay, that simply means that there are some things in the metal that's not so good. 一些杂质, impurities. And you have to burn those away. You have to get rid of them. And the only way to do that is with what? With fire. So it's burning very, very hot. She asked the man, do you have to sit in front of the fire the whole time it's burning? So, and I'm sure that this is a very honest question. Do you have to sit in front of the fire? 你要, in this case, 坐, do you have to sit there holding this in front of the fire the whole time it's burning? 它烧的时候，你就是要站在那个地方，或坐在那个地方。It's like, excuse me, this seems to waste a lot of time. Why can't you just, no. Well, of course, I don't know anything about refining silver, but I know what she's thinking. So why don't you just put it in there and then walk away and come back after a while. Why not do it that way? That would be a simple way of doing it. But that's not what he said. He said, what if you have to take a break or something? Okay? What if, this is the lady, she's asking, what if you have to take a break? Okay, what does it mean to take a break? It means to 休息一下. Let's say you have to go to the bathroom, 你要上厕所, or whatever. If you want to take a break, can you take a break or something for a few minutes and then just come back? Okay? Is that okay? Going on. Oh, I can't take a break while I am refining silver. Okay? I can't take a break while I am refining silver. 我提炼金子的时候这个银子的时候 I cannot take a break. 我不能休息一下. He has to stand there. He has to be there. And he explains why. I have to sit here holding the silver for the whole process. I have to sit here holding the silver. So he has to sit there. 他是用钳子, right? He's using 钳子. He's holding it for the whole process. 整个过程process. He's holding it during the whole process. Okay? He cannot leave. He cannot go away. He's holding it right there. For the whole process, 整个过程，我就是在那个地方手拿着钳子。Okay, going on. When I'm refining silver, I have to keep my eyes on the silver the entire time. It's in the fire. This is very interesting because it says I have to keep my eyes on. I have to keep watching. To keep my eyes on means to keep watching. 瞪着看 the silver the entire time. 整个时间它是在这个火里. Okay, going on. He paused to take a closer look at the metal. 他就休息一下，什么叫休息？就停了一下。Probably paused talking. He paused talking. In other words, he stopped talking to take a closer, 更加看得更清楚 the metal between the tongs. Okay? Between the tongs, of course, between the tongs you have the 钳子. Maybe we get a close-up shot here. You know, you got your two fingers there, and these are like 钳子. And so between the tongs is something in between the tongs. Okay? Let me get a pencil here. I got my pencil. Okay? And in between my fingers is the pen. Actually, it's a pen. Okay? You like my pen? Nice, pretty pen. It was given to me. Okay? But between the 钳子, between the tongs, he's holding this silver. Okay? Okay? And then he continued. 他继续说, going on. If the silver is left in the fire a moment too long, it will become unusable. Now that's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. I would have never guessed this. 我不太明白. But anyway, this is the way the story is. If the silver is left in the fire a moment too long, 多了一点点. A moment is a small period of time. So if you leave it in the fire a moment too long, then it will become unusable. That means that you will not be able to use the silver for that person. 没办法用到. Okay, so if the silver is left in the fire a moment too long, 多了一点点的时间, it will become unusable. Usable. You cannot use it. 没办法用它. Go ahead. The woman sat there watching the man do his work. She was silent for a long time. The woman just sat there watching the man do his work. 就看他工作的时候. She was silent, probably thinking. And so she's just watching and thinking there. Going on. Then she asked the silversmith. She asked the man that's making the silver, who's refining the silver to make something. First you have to refine it, then you can make something. How do you know when the silver is fully refined? How do you know when the fully refined? What does it mean to be fully refined? It means, fully refined means that when it is completely, 所有的杂质 is taken away. How do you know? 你怎么知道这个完全提炼过? Okay, the refining process is finished. You're done. It can come out. And so let's listen to what the silversmith said. Going on. He turned his head briefly. Briefly. Okay? Briefly means a very short amount of time. 他就转他的头 and smiled at her. 给他出一个 what? 笑容. What? Smile? Do you know how to smile? Good. Okay? He smiled at her. Going on. Oh, that's easy, he said. Oh, very simple. The easiest way to know when you have finished the process, okay, is, going on, when I see my image in it, then I know there are no more impurities in it. Okay? So, when I see my image, okay, what does it mean? When 我能够看到我的像, okay, in it. So I'm looking at this silver, and it's so bright and shiny that I can see my image. I can see me. 好像镜子一样. 好像镜子一样. Okay? Okay? So there are no more impurities. 没有杂质. There's no more of these bad things in it. Nothing more that's black in it. When I see my image, then I know there are no more impurities in it. Going on. Then I know it is fully refined. Then I know that the process, the refining process, is finished. So, what is he saying? He is simply saying that when he can see his face, 好像看镜子一样, then he knows that the process is finished. I don't know about you, but I've had the experience of seeing, well, I've never had the experience of watching the refining of silver. I guess I've never been around a silversmith. I have never seen a silversmith at work. I actually did take metal shop. 我中学的时候，我都学这个弄这个金属 ，OK， 是一个使用技的一门课。And it was very interesting, and we actually put things in there, but we used tong, copper. We didn't use silver. Obviously, silver is expensive, so we didn't use silver. We used copper, and that was very, very interesting to have this experience. But the test is how pure it looks. Can you see your face? 好像镜子一样 very shiny? Yeah. Then you know the process is complete. The job is done. You have done well. Well, we have an email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com. We have a website, 我们也有网站 www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, we've had a lot of fun being with you today. I'm sure that you learned a few things about refining and maybe even silver. And I hope that you will join us next time as we have another interesting story.